Welcome to OZTV. Here we talk about everything that you need to know. We talk about family, we talk about relationships, we talk about children, homes. We talk about virtually everything. So I want you to subscribe, like, comment, click on the notification bell for more videos coming up, and watch out for a new show coming up called Spit It All. Thank you.
Access to him, the man tends to begin to develop feeling because men are moved by what they see. Those activities Ebere is performing is drawing him closer to Ebere. You understand me? And this is also what rings bell in the man's head. If you have Chinedu in the house, and Chinedu tends to be doing things with your wife all the time, Edu, come. Edu, go to my room, do this. Edu, go to... The man now tends to be saying Edu everywhere. And now we go to his brother. Why is Edu always around my wife? Are you hearing me? Do you understand me? So there are the two things that always draw men. But there are men who are extremists. Whether Ebere performs unusual duties or not, their erection will not just allow them. It will always stand because Ebere is a girl. They will always want to have access to Ebere, no matter how Ebere is, whether Ebere is working or Ebere is not working, whether Ebere is lazy or Ebere is not lazy. There are men who are very good at it is standing and I must put it somewhere. Do you understand? So these are different kinds of or categories of people in every home. The ones that have self-control, they actually have self-control. But the only thing that draw them close is because of consistent appearance of Ebere. And the ones that whether Ebere appears or Ebere does not appear, there is a woman in the house and I want to do.
Exactly. So that brings me to this question. For career women, a lot of career women lagging in their duties in the home front. So for career women that are always like, they go out very early and they come back very late. So most of the house duties or house chores, even the caring of the children, are left for the helps. You understand? So, and they cannot help the fact that the help or their husband would be seeing and, taking meals. Everything virtually has to be done by the household. So how, in their own case now, they don't have any choice because they have to go to work. And the duties that is in the home front are left for the household to do because that is the only person that can help them. So how do they manage, such a task? Because everything is left for the man. What I'm saying is, the man cannot but see that help because they cannot be available. Do you understand? There's nothing they can do in distance but to go to work. So in their own situation, I understand for the women that are not career driven or they don't have any, they have their own businesses and they have the right to go and come as they please. But for a career person that is obligated to be at the office at a certain time and leave at a certain time, how would they manage something?
Every marriage, before both of you come into that point of we've made up our mind to stay together, there are certain decisions both of you will have to sit down to take. It is only this part of the world that people don't sit down and ask themselves some critical questions. For example, I have worked in a bank, seen how tedious it is. I tendered my resignation letter. I came back. Why? Anyone working in a bank should know that you leave very early, come back late. Your eyes will not even reach it. You by the time you come back, you're exhausted.
Yes.
But if your husband like you being a career woman, what can we say? That he has to enjoy it and manage a baby at home. Because he accepted it, he likes it, he wants it.
And he has to behave.
He has to behave. He has to put his distance on lockdown. Do you understand? But if he doesn't like it, and two of you sit down, that's why I say it has to come under mutual agreement. Both of you sit down and talk to each other and tell yourselves, my dear, at this point you are beginning to raise kids. Why don't you look in the direction of leaving this job and moving into business? And you as a woman, choose your priority. The kids, your career, your future, your home. Which do you place topmost? So when you make your choice at that point, you're the one that will psychologically sit down and know how to manage the home front when you're out.
Sure.
So then will tell me now that there is you can now watch CCTV on your phone. Can I tell you the gospel truth? The gospel truth still remains that while you're in the office, you will not be watching it all the time.
Yes.
In a twinkle of seconds, whatever that wants to happen will happen.
happen.
The only thing is that maybe if you can be able to play it, maybe you go back and play it. And I will let me tell you the truth, you can't be able to do so. Because you might be carried away under pressure in the office so that you will not make mistakes. You might not be able to pay attention to start watching most of those things. And when you watch them and see that your child is being molested at home, or that the whole front, something is wrong there, you can't still leave the office and start running home. Remains the truth. Because you are answering sir to somebody.
So at what point do you think they should let a house help go? At what point? What should trigger that decision to have that help go?
I'm not even done with the one you asked me, because at that point, if you're working in the bank, you can't let house help go. Your husband cannot become a husband man in the house.
Husband help.
Or husband help. It's not possible. He's your man.
Yeah.
The head of the family. No matter what, he's busy. He has something to do. Even if he's not working at the moment, you don't expect the man to now get up, bed the children, wash the clothes, cook food for you, bed them in the evening, do house homework, go run school errands, come back home, clean, mop, madam, umbang. At that point, you're reducing the man. The man can choose to do that for you based on I'm doing it for the love he has for you, but does not mean you have to subject him to doing that. So if you find out that your help is molesting your children and all that, you have to quit your job, come back home, then send the help home. Then
take
know
up
that
the work.
take up the work. Except if you're going to be doing it, the only people that is at advantage here are the teachers. Where you go in the morning, and most of the time, right now, if they are doing after school lessons, they come back maybe 4 o'clock or 5, at times 6. You understand me? Which none of this aspect of work gives you chance even to pay attention, except those children go to the same school where you teach. Do you understand me? So if you quit that job, you come back home, do it with the children, look for business you can be able to run. By the time they are not at home, before they come back, you're back home. Or as they are coming back, you're coming back with them, and you know that someone could be in your shop and you come back to the house. Then you can have someone at home doing chores for you. When you come back, you know that all of you now will not be together in the house. You see what the person is doing. Do you understand me?
Yes.
So you cannot say, at the time it becomes toxic, know that you that is working, that is a career woman, you have to find a way out. Either you quit your job, come back home, look for business and be doing, then have a house help that you can be able to monitor. Or baba. But I will not advise any woman. When they are small, it's not easy. You have high blood pressure. You can't do all the work.
It's so tedious.
It's very tedious. You get older than your age.
Yes.
Because after you must have worked, you have other work to do even at night. You will now wake up early morning again and continue. So you just have to find a way to come back home, get the one you can monitor, stay with them in their house, run from the shop home. So that's what I have to say about that.
So you've heard it. There's this thing I watched on social media about a woman that, flogs the help, uses iron to burn the skin of the help, does all sorts of things to the help. And the help was just like, I don't think that help is up to like 10 years. I don't know, what do you think, can be done, to stop all this kind of treatment upon the help? Because I don't understand how one can treat another person's child in such a way, and you have your own children. What can you advise women to do to curb all this thing? Because this treatment on children is getting out of hand. Some of them are even dying. There are some cases that I'm sure we didn't hear about.
Well, you used iron on her, you poured hot water, you did all that to the child.
What have that child done to warrant such?
To warrant, see, the point is, you cannot do it to your own child. You can't pour your own child hot water. You cannot use iron on your own child. But the other one, you can. I actually saw that, and the woman was trying to,
she was embracing her children, holding them,
cuddling them. But another person's own should be wasted.
And did you see the skin of that child?
I will admonish, or I will tell all the viewers, anywhere you see such a thing happening, please report. That child needs to be rescued. I live with domestic staff or domestic helpers. Do you know the one that stay with me? You would think she's my sister.
That's how it should be.
I make sure they dress well, because I love it when I come out and people compliment them.
Yeah.
It makes me happy. Why would you maltreat somebody's child in the name of, okay, if the person didn't do it, go back and do it. I do it at home. If I ask you to do something and that thing is being, I'll just come there, collect it from you and start doing it myself. And you look at me like, you start making me please.
Because that's what you do with your own child.
With your own child. And at times, do you know what I do at times? Because I actually have a grown son. What I do is, if I look at that thing, I'll call my son, come. I'll take that thing from you and I ask him, look at what I'm doing. I will do one and then ask him, do it, start doing it. I will stand there and make sure you do it yourself. By the time you've done it the first time, second time, you've known how to do it. So nothing on earth warrants you to maltreat the child. And the only thing that can be done is, the moment you know that your help or your domestic helper is not doing well at home, please send the person back to their parents. Or call the person that brought the person for you. Come and take this person and go. Find another person, please. Don't kill another person's child. Don't kill someone else's child. Or do all those practice with your own children.
Yes, and if it's good for you.
If it's good, then I don't know. For me, I think that is what should be done.
So how do you think is the best way to handle like domestic staff in the house?
Everyone in your household will emulate what you teach them. Set a good example. If you're not good at using foul languages on them, they will not use it on your children.
And they learn what they see.
Mind what you say. That's number 2. If you're very good at every slightest thing, you give the person a dirty slap, tower. The rest assured, when you are not at home, your children will receive some slap. I'm not saying you shouldn't discipline your domestic staff when they offend you, but there are discipline that when you're done, you yourself will be happy the way you handled the situation. The domestic staff I have, we sit down and we talk. She will do something, I will raise my voice at her and I will shout at her. After some minutes, I'll bring her back and say, do you know why I shouted at you? It's because you did this. I don't do this in Islam. I don't like shouting. At times, you call the person, sit the person down. Listen, I want you to be listening. I want you to begin to think. This thing you're doing this way. Embrace dialogue. More than beating or hitting or doing. Embrace dialogue.
And people don't dialogue these days. They believe in hitting as a form of correction.
Embrace it. Do you know that there's a way there are words you use on children, you abuse these children? Because words registers in the head, in the mind of the child. It becomes emotional. My auntie said I will never become anything in life. It will begin to ring bell in their ear. I will never become anything in life.
And they grow up with it.
They will be complex comes. Emotionally they are drained. There's a way you will flog a child, they will develop thick skin. When you come to flog them, they will not say flog me. After flogging them, okay, they will dust it out. They will still go back and do the same thing.
Even worse.
So mind the things you say. Now be specific when you're giving instruction. Just like we talked about 6 years and 15 years. Ebere, wash this plate. After washing plate, parboil or boil beans. Leave it for me. When I come back, I will finish it. I will cook the food, prepare it, and conclude everything. Ebere, when you're done with that, be specific and not do everything in the house.
Sometimes they will do something and they won't do it right and you want to kill them for it.
Do everything. Be specific in your instruction. If you be specific with your children, be specific with that help as well.
Exactly.
There are the several, and also mind the kind of things you say. The words you use at home is very important on the child, because you're training that child without knowing. You're training the child. You're breaking that child up. You're sowing a seed into the life of that child.
Yes.
And most of the time, you begin to reap the seed you have sown in them while they are with you.
Yeah.
So be careful the seed you're sowing. Yeah. Because those seeds will germinate and begin to reap it where your children is. They will germinate at times. You begin to reap it in your own life or your husband. Haven't you seen house helps? Because of the way the auntie there was very wicked to them, they decide to take their husband from them.
Yes.
Be careful what you do. So that when justice comes, when you are crying for justice, God will look at your heart and grant you that justice. We have to be careful the way we behave at home for them to learn from us.
That's true. Okay. So we've heard that. I don't know if there's any, word of advice you have for mothers out there on how to, embrace these children, how to love them, show them love, how to treat them like their own. I don't know if you have any word of advice, that you can, chip out to parents out there, even for those of them that may be having house help that are giving them a lot of problems and they don't know how to, handle it, despite the fact that they don't treat the house help bad. So I don't know if you have any, like encouraging words that you can share with them.
Before you choose any domestic staff, please pray about it. Prayerfully choose. Prayerfully choose. And the moment you feel that the house help is becoming, or domestic help is becoming bigger than you, the shoulder is rising so high, settle the person and let the person go. There's a point at which you discipline someone or try to bring the person close and the person seems not to be coming close because he's been corrupted. At that point, you know that this person is no longer good in your home. The person has to go immediately. Don't add sentiment to it. Don't begin to add sentiment. I've stayed with this person for too long. And how will I go? This person know me. No, another person bring the person and train the person, and the person will still cope with you. The advice I'm going to give you is this. there is a point where at which your children will grow to. The moment that they get to that point, every house help should leave your house. At that point, begin to train your own children to fill in the gap of what those people do for you. Don't keep them for so long, and don't depend on them where you cannot be able to let them go. Don't ever allow a house help to become a boss that can no longer be controlled. So that's the advice I will give you. Please, plan it well. Make sure you're psychologically and emotionally ready to be able to accept another person's child to live with you. I praise anyone that trains a child that did not have give birth to, or bring up a child that you did not nurse. I praise you. It is not easy, but please, instead of something bad happening and you'll be called a bad name for good that you want to do, cut it up immediately and make sure you draw the line at the point at which you have to draw the line. Don't inflict injury on anybody's child. You don't have such rights.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your coming to the house again. And viewers, I'm sure you have heard it all. You have learned and will still be learning, because I know that this is a journey for everyone. Okay? But the only advice now that she has given us is that we should know when to let them go. Okay? You cannot, inflict injuries or hurt anyone's child, even your child. Okay? So when you're tired of them, just let them go. Okay? So that you can have your sanity. So thank you, viewers, for watching, and I hope you picked one or two things from this episode of Spilling Out. And please join us next time as we bring